All right. So what I want to do is test the spaces portion of this. So how? Thank you for joining me on the YouTube side of things. I'm just testing to see if I can have the audio come through on the spaces. So add to stage, do this. Now, what I want to see is thanks for listening, Wildfang, over in the spaces. Do I have anyone listening on YouTube right now? No, I don't. Hi, if you're in YouTube and you're in the chat, say hello. Work with me in a little test here. First off, do you hear an echo? What's up, Perry Incorporated? Is there an echo? Okay. Okay, now let me try this. All right, then what I need to do is test someone. Hey, does someone want to head over to my spaces and I'll bring you up and you could just say a couple words and then we'll see if the audience can hear you. How does that sound? Yeah, I'm doing a test here with audio. So let me know if one of you go over into the space and just raise your hand and I'll try to bring you up. And all I need you to do is say, hey, what's up? Or whatever you'd like to say. As long as you don't break terms of service or anything like that. There we go. We got Wigera. So bring you up. All right. What's up, Wigera? Oh, let's see. Did I get that right? All right. You should have speaker permission. See if you can say something here.
Did I get that? Yeah, you got me. I think you got me.
All right. So can you all hear Wigera as he talks?
I can hear you, and I can hear you back on my TV.
Nice. So yeah, what I need to know is if through the YouTube that they can hear the space here is what I'm going for. So it sounds like that's probably good. So audience, all right. That's it. Thank you, Wigera. Much appreciated. All right. There we have it. All right. That's what I'm doing. So I'll be going live a little before 8 o'clock. I got this big spaces coming up for Word War, so should be a lot of fun. The guests are going to be phenomenal for that. We got pretty much every debater that's going to be on. Plus, then we got people that are involved in the production lines. We got Sam Tripoli. We got Gavin McInnes, I believe, is coming on as well. Mm-hmm. Ben Swan should be on. And then I think Stefan Molyneux will be joining us. So everything working swimmingly. Let's see what we got. So, it should be a lot of fun. Gretzko! Look at this. I'm getting donos on a test stream. Says it's the Rob Noor Show. It is indeed. All right, all of you listening over on the spaces, thank you very much. Please check out Word War Debates X page. Check out their X page, and I will be managing and hosting that space. You're going to hear a lot of me for an hour and a half to 2 hours on there. So if you're interested in me, I'll be over on Word War Debates X account. So I'm going to end this space here now, and then I'll talk to my audience on YouTube for just a minute. So thank you all. There we go. We managed that. No problem. We figured it out. Boomer Rob, figuring out tech. Hoo-yah! Hoorah! Right? My goodness, if you knew how busy I am. I have good news. Immediately following, I'm doing Word War. We'll talk about that a lot tonight, obviously. Then after the show with Word War here tonight, I'll be doing my regular stream, and we're going to be talking to someone who I think is a fantastic content creator who really gave me a fair shake and sort of talking about some of the drama stories that I was involved with involving Panelverse type people, and someone who I think does a phenomenal job sort of analyzing videos. I watch him routinely. Our good friend Cool Vic. So he'll be on tonight. There's a lot to talk about. We'll see what's on his mind. But man, with this situation in Minnesota, I predicted this. I said inevitably what's happening is the left is setting up a situation where they're hoping and praying that ICE shoots someone. and then they'll use that as their rallying cry. So they got what they wanted. And so, unfortunately, me, as always, big softy that I am, does not want to see anyone, even people that I massively politically disagree with, lose their life in an act of violence like that. And so, it has reminiscent feelings of the Rittenhouse situation, where so many people on the left set the stage. They insist that things keep going, that they keep escalating until there is a predictable pushback. And then once that pushback happens, they go, oh my gosh, you guys are violent monsters. So we'll see if we talk about some of that this evening, but that will be immediately following my show with Cool Vic will be immediately following the X Spaces. Now, what I want you to look for in this X Spaces, presumably 99.9% of you that are watching right now on YouTube here, all 67 of you, I would gather it's probably all 67, know me, right? And you at least know my work to some degree. And you're probably not just here because you're like, who is this guy? I'm checking out his test YouTube channel right now because he's doing this Word War space tonight. So I'll talk to you a little, seeing as how it's just those of you that already know me. I want you to just pay attention on what a phenomenal host I could be. The goal, just a little inside baseball, the goal with the space tonight is one goal. It is not to hold debates. It is not to talk about politics. It is not to move the cultural needle. It is to explain Word War debate, to build up hype for our event that's going to happen January 10th here at ACX1 Studio in Atlantic City, baby. It's going to be phenomenal. It's to encourage people to buy tickets and encourage people to watch. So that's what we're doing. It's promo. So they knew who to tap, your boy, to lead it. So I'm happy to do it. So the goal is we're going to try to bring all of the participants on for like 5-10 minutes to say their piece. And I'm going to be the host of the show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't do this a lot, like geek out as a fan. But there are certain people that were instrumental in getting me interested in streaming in the first place. One of those is the aforementioned Scott Adams that we talked about a lot last week. And please keep him in your prayers, for real. There are other people that I found very influential to me. Some of them still streaming, some of them not as much. I always found the format that Styx Hexenhammer did his shows were exactly what inspired me to do my format. Just one guy talking about a topic for 10 minutes to a screen. Now, before I did live streams, that was a big influence. That type of thing, when I saw him doing it, I was like, Mike Cernovich is someone who's been inspirational to me. That's just with like the sort of online streaming and topic. Obviously, political-wise, people like Ron Paul were a huge influence on me. Trump, to a large degree, a huge influence on me. People like Thomas Sowell, Andrew Breitbart, these people were influences. Rush Limbaugh, though mostly posthumously, was a big influence on me. One of the people that was a big influence on me was Stefan Molyneux. I used to listen to Stefan Molyneux's stuff. It got me through many a day, man. Just listening to Stefan, and he's going to be on the space tonight. So, not Kyle Kalinske, no. So I'm honored. I'm honored to have a chance to talk to Stefan. Obviously, it's not the time and the place for me to be like, Stefan, let me ask you all about. It's not what the point is. We're about promoting. So Tests with Spaces means Spaces is the name of the audio panel thing that you have on X. It's called X Spaces. So I was testing out the format of streaming here, the spaces that I'll be doing later tonight. It's not Super Chat. I wasn't testing to see Super Chats. It was testing to see if the audio works. Yeah, Stefan Molyneux still creates content. Not only that, he's coming back in a big way. He was brought back to YouTube. He's been brought back to X. Time and where to find. Right. So you might see me. I got some notes on my phone. You might see me looking at my notes on my phone as it goes on. But, it's kind of funny. I never had any formal training, nor have I ever been involved in any big shows. And so, like, for example, some of the shows you do, the format's much different. Like me, 8 p.m. Eastern, it'll start, yeah. So, for example, me doing a show, the extravaganza, is different than me doing the TikTok Siege, but both of those are me participating in someone else's show. Then there's my individual shows. Then there's my shows where I have a guest. Then there's my shows when I'm debating. Then there's my shows when I'm moderating. All of those have varying different styles. But then I've done other things. For example, when I did the radio show. Radio show's radio's different, man. Like, you're talking 4 or 5 minutes exchange and then like a minute ad break, or maybe 6-7 minutes exchange and a 2-minute ad break. So it's just different. There's obviously different types of topics you could talk on. When I do my show with Ryan Mullally, it's different, right? And I remember my radio co-host, one of them was a radio guy. I was like, yeah, you got this format figured out? I'm like, I've listened to radio. I think I got it. So, yeah, I think I'm a natural. And I think it'll come across in this space as well. It is, I want to be clear about Word War one thing, and obviously we'll talk about it more, but while I got your attention here, this is not my show. I am more than happy to be in the background here. I'm happy to help out where I can, like doing things like this space, but for me, the entire purpose of this, and I mean this sincerely from the bottom of my heart, is to showcase first and foremost the debaters, and then the people that will be working in front of the camera. That's it. So it is not about promoting me. That's not what I'm going to be doing tonight. It's not about giving my takes. It's not about being like, your argument's bullshit. I hope you lose the debate. None of that matters. Much like when I'm moderating, I attempt to be as professional as possible. And try to be, I have a bias, and I'll never be able to get rid of that bias, but I try to the best of my ability to limit that and to leave the debaters speak for themselves. My moderation philosophy is the less you hear from me, the better. I might ask a question or two if I think it helps the audience understand the position of the debaters, and I might redirect or say, now calm down, leave them answer, please. But that's it. I'm not someone who has a heavy hand with moderating, and I feel the same thing with things like this. I'm not here to, hey, this is about me. Welcome to the spaces, Word War debate spaces. It's not that. It has very little to be with me. I just want to be able to showcase the great people that are going to be on the space tonight and make them as comfortable as possible and facilitate them saying what their true thoughts are about participating in a project like. That's it. So, yeah. That's sort of the plan. Well, yeah, I like to think that my work in the background is instrumental. I really do. I'm not belittling. Look, Steven Spielberg's in the background of a movie he directs. Technically, he's not in front of the camera. That doesn't mean he's not important. But I think a good director lets the actors shine. When I'm working behind the scenes in a project, that's it. Maybe I've worked behind the scenes with certain projects, certain debates, etc., and you had no idea. Maybe you had no idea that happened. And maybe I'm fine with that. Perfectly fine with it. Maybe it happened. Maybe it didn't happen. But I don't care. I don't need to be in front. I like doing this, but I don't need to be that person in front. This project is not about me. This project's about an idea of neutral debate, of centralizing debate, of treating the people that participate in these debates like the talent that they are, of making sure they are treated right, of making sure that they are compensated, of making sure that they have a platform where they can reach people, and making sure that it's as fair as I'm capable of doing. And to make sure that the audience is having a good time to the best of my ability. And to do it all with a smile on my face. That's the goal. So it's not my project in any stretch of the form. I was instrumental in helping set up the debate format, the debate rules, the links, all of that stuff. But that's it. I'm not debating. I'm not moderating. I'm not commentating. So you'll see very little of me in front of the screen at Word War. And I will be talking more tonight than I will be at Word War, but that's just because I'm facilitating as an introduction to sort of the promotion, all the good voices that we're going to have on there tonight. So with Ideally, I would just say, all right, everyone, welcome. Gavin McInnes, what do you think about this project? And he'll go off for 5-10 minutes, and I'll say, thank you so much. Now we have our next guest on here. That's it. That'd be the ideal. And just give the bare level of information that you all need for the event. Anyways, I'm going to end this stream. Just a test stream after all. But, I'd be remiss if I didn't read the super chats that came in, though. Vincent DaVinci, $20, says, after watching some whatever podcast and listening to the left-wing girls that go on there, it's actually frightening. You should play a few clips of the dumbest shit they say for educational purposes and laughs. Well, it's not just whatever. I mean, look at this woman we've been covering, Che Weaver. Che, is it Sia? Che, it sounds like Che, trust me. That's hired by Mamdani that hates whiteness and wants to change your relationship with property. Yeah, it's insane what some of these people think. I totally agree. Naughty Germ, thank you so much, man. $5 each. See, even a test stream. Naughty Germ throwing $5 in. Ba-bam! All right, I am out. I will see you all a little before 8 p.m. I'll probably be back on in an hour, 7:50 or something like that. We'll start the stream as usual, and then I will join the space. When I'm on the space, I will be doing probably very little interaction with my audience here on YouTube because I'm going to try to be focused as possible on making sure that those audience. I will ask you, though, there's 114 of you watching. Please, 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 one final ask. Look, if you could do me a personal favor, it's the simplest thing in the world. Just follow Word War Debate on X if you have an X account, and make sure that you hop on that space. Even if you choose to watch it here, absolutely no problem. But listen, if you go over and you're just there in the audience of that space, it'd mean a lot to me. So get those numbers up on that space. If you like me, if you like any of the debaters attached, if you like any of the people that are on the team, like Ben Swan or Stefan Molyneux or Sam Tripoli or Gavin McInnes, yeah, help boost the numbers. That's it. You don't have to donate any money. You don't have to comment, anything like that. Just if you're in that space listening, it would immensely help out. Even if you watch here and then just join that space and mute it, it would immensely help out. But we are trying to build something here that will be able to continue to snowball into something that will end up benefiting, hopefully, not just the conservative streamers that you like and conservative ideals that you like, but also will benefit sort of in general the idea of debate and neutral debate. I would like to see this project eventually set the standard for what presidential debate should be. Not going through some shithole place like CBS, but going through independent organizations that are trying to be less biased. That's what I would like to see. So that's the idea. So it would help to chat a little too under the X space. That'd be nice. So it'd be a personal favor to me and I'd really appreciate it. All right. Sorry for the test stream. I'll see you all in about an hour. Thanks so much, everyone, as always. Have a good one.